Good afternoon, parents. We're entering into week 3 of online schooling. Week 2 went very well. I thank you all for turning in all assignments and all tests on time. All the grades are posted in RenWeb. If you do need help with logging into RenWeb, send me a remind message and I can send you the instructions on how to get on RenWeb. So before we go into this week, a few things. The first thing is starting this week, I would like you all to send in all the assignments that students complete daily. So everything that's on the lesson plan breakdown, all the pages in the workbook they have to complete, I would like those to be sent to me daily, every day. You still will send in tests on the days that the test is assigned, but also include the assignments as well. Second thing is, this week I will give students an oral phonics test. It will be in my Wednesday video that I send on this week. And so students will have to just number a loose leaf paper, and then I will give them the tests based upon whatever, like sounds or blends or words that the students have learned on that week. Third thing, parents, please make sure that you are watching the daily lesson videos that I send. Almost every question that you will have about lessons or about assignments will be answered in the video. Also, when I do an oral review, sometimes I may include that in a test question. So please make sure that you are watching the videos so that you could be prepared for the tests that students will have on Thursdays and Fridays. Fourth thing is Greek and Latin. Please make sure that you include those words in the spelling list. The first grade has a total of 20 words and second grade will have a total of 25 words. Please make sure that whenever you are doing the spelling words from the book that you are also including the Greek and Latin with the list as well. The last thing is in regards to tests. I do understand that everyone doesn't have access to a printer, which is okay. I'm fine with you putting the test on loose leaf paper. The only thing is that whenever you write it on loose leaf paper, I would prefer if you wrote the question and you could have the students circle the answer, or you could have students write the answer, but if they put A, if they could put like exactly what answer that is. If you do that for me on this week, it would make the grading process a lot smoother and a lot easier for me. So I will show you pictures on the next slide of examples of how you could turn in tests for those who have to write it on loose leaf. So if you look at this paper here, the parent rewrote the entire social studies test. And so they wrote the number 1 and they wrote the question and they gave them the option of A or B, which is normally how we take tests in class. And so you could do this as well for students to where they could just go in and circle. And if there are any written answers, you could leave like a line or two for them to have room to write their response. Here is another option for you if you choose not to rewrite the entire test. You could have students number their paper according to how many questions were on the test. And as you can see on number 1, instead of putting the question, she just put the answer, but she put A and she wrote what the answer was. So if you do decide to not rewrite the test, you could have students just put the answers on a loose leaf paper, but please have them write A and then the answer, like what it says on the test. And I also love how they put a name and date line, which is very important for students to stay familiar with doing that whenever we return back to school. And this last test is our writing test that we took on last week. And so the parent remade the entire test on loose leaf paper. So this is also an ideal for you parents because I know our language and writing tests are a little different. They're not like the other A and B tests. And so this is also an ideal you could use for students whenever administering the writing and language tests.